Hey, step away from the vehicle. Hands where I can see them.
I'm just unloading my groceries. I live here.
Sure you do. ID, now.
I don't have to show
You do if I say you do. This is a private neighborhood.
I know. I live in that house right there.
Right, and I'm supposed to just believe that?
You could just let me finish unloading?
Here's what's going to happen. Put your hands on the car or I'm calling backup and you're going in cuffs.
Officer Daniels had no idea what he just walked into. In 4 minutes, his badge number would be flagged by federal officers. His body cam would trigger an investigation. His 19-year career would end over a driveway argument. The woman he threatened was Deputy U.S. Marshal Karen Mitchell, one of only 94 federal marshals in the state. She had direct power over fugitive operations, and she could arrest corrupt police officers. Before I continue, have you ever been treated unfairly by someone in power? Drop your answer in the comments. Officer Daniels had no idea who he was threatening. This was Deputy U.S. Marshal Karen Mitchell, age 41. She worked for the U.S. Marshal Service on the Fugitive Apprehension Task Force. She'd been a federal marshal for 12 years. Before that, she worked local police for 6 years. She left after seeing corruption. She had degrees in criminal justice and public administration. She was trained in federal law, tactical operations, and crisis negotiation. Here's what Daniels didn't know. Mitchell specialized in civil rights investigations under federal authority. She had personally arrested 11 police officers for civil rights violations. Her conviction rate was 97%. She'd testified in over 200 criminal cases. Her authority superseded local police in federal matters. Mitchell had bought this home 3 months ago. She was one of 3 black families in the neighborhood. Single mother raising her 14-year-old daughter, off duty that Saturday afternoon, just back from grocery shopping. On this Saturday in June, Marshal Mitchell just wanted to unload groceries. She wasn't looking for trouble, but she'd spent 18 years total in law enforcement. She knew exactly what was happening. Officer Robert Daniels had a reputation in Oakmont Hills, not a good one. Age 47, 19-year veteran with Ridgeview Police, still just a patrol officer, never promoted despite all those years. He lived 15 miles away but often patrolled this rich neighborhood, outside his assigned zone. Internal Affairs had 7 complaints in 4 years. 6 involved black residents, 5 dismissed for insufficient evidence, 1 verbal warning. In 2019, he stopped a black landscaper working on someone's yard, demanded ID, ran warrant check. Homeowner confirmed employment, complaint dismissed. In 2021, questioned black woman jogging at 6 a.m., asked what she was really doing there, followed her 3 blocks, complaint dismissed. No body cam footage, claimed malfunction. In 2022, detained black teenager visiting friend's house, accused him of casing the neighborhood. Called parents to verify story, family hired lawyer, verbal warning issued. Every incident in rich white neighborhoods, everyone involved black people doing normal activities. Daniels cited suspicious behavior with no real facts. Body cam frequently malfunctioned or not activated. Fellow officers nicknamed him Officer Stop and Frisk. One officer reported him in 2020, told to be a team player. Comment below if this sounds like a pattern to you. By June 2023, Daniels learned he could get away with racial profiling. He'd been careful about what he said on camera. This time was different. He picked the wrong target. Saturday, June 17, 2023, 2:47 p.m. Oakmont Hills Subdivision, Ridgeview, gated community, home $600K to $1.2 million. Marshal Mitchell's home, 2847 Willow Crest Drive. Quiet cul-de-sac, manicured lawns. Hot afternoon, 89 degrees. Neighbors washing cars, kids on bikes, someone mowing lawn. Peaceful suburban weekend. Mitchell pulled in at 2:43 p.m. Silver Honda CR-V wearing jeans, t-shirt, sneakers, open trunk, started unloading grocery bags. 8 to 10 bags total. Ice cream melting, making quick trips. Daniels appeared at 2:47 p.m. 4 minutes after Mitchell arrived, slowed down, stopped behind her vehicle, blocked driveway exit, sat in car 30 seconds watching her. Neighbor across street noticed, started watching. Daniels exited vehicle, hand on duty belt. Didn't announce himself as police. Just yelled, "Hey." Mitchell had 3 bags, keys between fingers, turning toward front door. Mrs. Patricia Chen across street, watering plants on porch. James Rodriguez 2 doors down, washing car. Both felt something was wrong. Chen pulled out phone. If stories like this matter to you, hit subscribe. What happened next was captured on body cam, 2 cell phones, and Ring doorbell next door. 4 different angles. Daniels had no idea he was being recorded. And he had no idea the woman in front of him had reviewed hundreds of body cam videos as evidence in federal civil rights cases. Step away from the vehicle, hands where I can see them. Mitchell set bags down calmly. I'm unloading my groceries, I live here. Sure you do, ID now. Mitchell knew she wasn't legally required. She was on her property, engaged in lawful activity, but she also knew escalating could be dangerous. I don't have to show you ID, I'm in my own driveway. You do if I say you do. This is a private neighborhood. We get calls about suspicious activity. What call? What suspicious activity? Daniels didn't answer. Are you refusing to cooperate with a police officer? I'm not refusing anything. I'm asking what legal reason you have to detain me. His voice hardened. I don't need to explain myself to you. You need to comply. I'm standing in my own driveway. That house is mine. I bought it 3 months ago. Daniels scoffed. Right, and I'm supposed to just believe that. You could just let me finish unloading. He stepped closer. Here's what's gonna happen. Put your hands on the car, or I'm calling backup and you're going in cuffs. For unloading groceries in my own driveway. For refusing to identify yourself in a suspicious situation. What's suspicious, specifically? Pause, he had no answer. You don't fit the neighborhood. People notice when strangers walk around looking in cars. I'm not walking around, I'm standing at my own car. That's for me to determine. Mrs. Chen called from across the street. She was recording. Officer, she does live there, I've seen her. Daniels didn't turn. Ma'am, step back inside. This is official business. Rodriguez approached. Hey man, she literally lives there. What's the problem? Daniels turned, hand moving to weapon. Sir, back up right now. Rodriguez raised hands, backed away. All right, but this is wrong. Wait until you hear what happened next. Daniels moved within 3 feet of Mitchell, positioned between her and front door. Voice raised, finger pointing. Last chance, hands on car, now. Mitchell stood still, hands visible at sides, grocery bags at feet, ice cream melting on hot asphalt. Then Daniels crossed the line. You people always think rules don't apply, coming into neighborhoods you don't belong in. Mitchell's expression changed. You people. Daniels realized what he said, doubled down. Yeah, people who don't follow lawful orders, now hands on car or you're under arrest. Mitchell had a choice, show federal badge right now, end this immediately, but she thought, how many people has he done this to who couldn't fight back? She reached slowly for her back pocket. Mitchell pulled out black leather credentials, open to reveal gold U.S. Marshal badge and federal ID. Deputy U.S. Marshal Karen Mitchell, badge number 7743, United States Marshal Service. Daniels froze. Wait, what? I'm a federal law enforcement officer. I live at this address. I'm off duty, unloading groceries. You detain me without reasonable suspicion on my own property. You didn't identify yourself. I'm not required to. I was engaged in lawful activity. You initiated this stop. Daniels got defensive. We get calls sometimes. What call? Give me the call numbers. Long pause. I'd have to check dispatch. You said you got a call. What was reported? Suspicious activity in the area. At this address specifically. In the area. So you saw a black woman unloading groceries and decided to investigate. Mrs. Chen approached, phone recording. Officer, I saw everything. She pulled in, started unloading, you pulled up. She wasn't doing anything suspicious. I've lived here 11 years. Never seen you react this way when my kids unload groceries. Rodriguez still recording. This is messed up. She was carrying grocery bags. I once forgot keys and climbed through my window. You drove past and waved. Difference, I look white enough. She's black and gets treated like a criminal. Elderly white woman approached. Mrs. Alina Whitmore, 4 houses down. Young man, she's been lovely since moving in. My husband was police chief 30 years. This is not how officers behave. Type justice if you think he was wrong. Multiple videos now. Chen's phone, 3 minutes 47 seconds, clear audio. Rodriguez, 4 minutes 12 seconds, different angle. Ring doorbell, side view. Daniels' body cam, missing first 8 seconds. Mitchell's pocket recording, full audio. Mitchell took control. Officer Daniels, I'm asking questions. You're not detained. Multiple cameras are recording. How long have you watched this house? I wasn't watching. You arrived 4 minutes after me, parked, sat 30 seconds before approaching. Why? No answer. Did you run my plate? Standard procedure. Before or after approaching? I don't remember. Dispatch has the timestamp. Mitchell radioed U.S. Marshal's duty officer. Requested Ridgeview Supervisor 2. Off-duty deputy, detained without reasonable suspicion. Request supervisor response and internal affairs notification. Daniels realized this wasn't disappearing. Sergeant Torres arrived 11 minutes later, reviewed body cam footage on scene, spoke with witnesses, radioed dispatch. No call about this address. Plate check ran after Daniels approached, contradicted his suspicious vehicle claim. Torres questioned Daniels, did you receive a call about this address? There was suspicious activity in the area. From who? Dispatch has no record. Earlier in shift, someone flagged me down. Who, when, where? No answer. Torres reviewed body cam, heard you people comment. Did you say you people? I meant people who don't follow orders. Mitchell interrupted, while saying I don't belong in this neighborhood. Torres closed eyes, this was bad. Marshal Mitchell, I apologize. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to every black person he's done this to who didn't have a badge. Torres sent Daniels to station. Shift over, pending review. Gave Mitchell incident report number and contact. Offered to file complaint. She declined, would use federal channels. Marshal, this isn't what we stand for. Then prove it. Monday, June 19, Mitchell filed with DOJ Civil Rights Division and Ridgeview Internal Affairs. Provided 4 videos, witness statements, dispatch records, Daniels' history. DOJ checked everything. Dispatch showed 0 calls about that address all week. Daniels never radioed about a call. Timeline proved he saw Mitchell and stopped her on his own. Body cam showed immediate commands, hand on weapon, not welfare check, treated her like criminal. Video showed Mitchell calm, explaining she lived there. Not required to show ID, answered questions. He escalated when she asked legal reason. DOJ pulled Daniels' 24-month records, found 23 stops in rich areas outside his zone. 19 involved black drivers, 82%. Only 2 got tickets. 21 stops had no legal basis. GPS showed repeated Oakmont Hills patrols off hours, not his area. Ridgeview reviewed 7 prior complaints. Insufficient evidence dismissals were weak investigations. 2021 jogger complaint had uninterviewed witness. 2022 teen complaint had unrequested ring footage. Pattern clear. Investigators favored Daniels, ignored contradictions. June 28, Ridgeview placed Daniels on leave pending federal outcome. Internal Affairs reopened 4 cases. Chief made public statement about serious concerns. July 14, DOJ opened formal civil rights investigation. Charge was deprivation of rights under color of law, Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242. Expanded to pattern investigation of whole department. Requested all body cams, dispatch logs, complaints, training files. If police accountability matters, hit subscribe. Daniels refused interviews. Lawyer said Officer Daniels regrets any misunderstanding, followed training ensuring neighborhood safety. Statement backfired, implied Mitchell's presence threatened safety. Union defended him initially, then distanced after videos spread. Mitchell stayed calm during stop, later told media she felt rage, exhaustion, profound sadness. Chen and Rodriguez spoke to press. Rodriguez posted video captioned "This is what racial profiling looks like." HOA apologized to Mitchell, condemned discrimination. 3 days later, Chen posted video to Facebook. Caption, This is how police treated my neighbor for unloading groceries while black. 12 hours later, 40,000 shares. Tuesday, June 20, 9:47 a.m., Chen posted 3-minute 47-second video to Facebook. By 11:30 a.m., local activist group shared to Twitter, 1,200 views. By 2:15 p.m., Channel 7 contacted Chen for interview. By 5 p.m., 40,000 Facebook shares, trending locally. By 8:30 p.m., civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump tweeted video, 100K views in 1 hour. Wednesday, June 21, 7 a.m., featured on MSNBC Morning Joe. Noon, 2.3 million views across Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Thursday, June 22, 8.7 million views, covered by CNN, Fox, BBC, Al Jazeera. Twitter, 4.2 million views, 87K retweets, hashtag Oakmont Hills racism trending. Facebook, 3.1 million views, 450K shares, 89K comments. TikTok, 1.4 million views across multiple reposts with commentary. YouTube news segments collectively 2.8 million views. Reddit front page of public freakout, bad cop no donut, justice served. One commenter wrote, she's a federal officer and still got profiled. Imagine people without badges. Another said, clear Fourth Amendment violation. No reasonable suspicion, pure racial bias. This is what qualified immunity shouldn't protect. Former cop commented, 27 years on force. This is indefensible. Zero justification for that stop. This is why people don't trust us. Comment below what you think about this going viral. All 3 local network affiliates led newscasts 3 days straight. National coverage on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, Washington Post, New York Times op-ed, LA Times, USA Today. Most focused on even federal officer isn't safe from profiling angle. U.S. Marshal's service said, we stand with Deputy Mitchell, cooperating fully with investigations. Police union initially tweeted video, doesn't show full context, then deleted after backlash. Mayor called for full accountability, announced police reform task force. NAACP filed brief supporting federal charges, demanded pattern investigation. ACLU offered legal support. Daniels' attorney released second statement June 23. Officer Daniels deeply regrets how this unfolded. Statement cut off mid-sea. Intense, later reported inadvertently sent incomplete. Daniels' wife posted on Facebook, you don't know him, he's not racist, he has black friends, deleted within hours. Union rep defended him, mentioned high crime areas and officer safety, made it worse. By June 25, Officer Daniels was a household name for wrong reasons. 3 days after video went viral, U.S. attorney announced federal charges being considered. Ridgeview Police Chief held press conference announcing Daniels terminated, effective immediately. August 3, 2023, U.S. Attorney indicted Daniels on federal charges. Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242, Deprivation of Rights under Color of Law Felony, Specifics, Unlawful Detention based on race, without reasonable suspicion, violating Fourth Amendment. Potential sentence up to 10 years federal prison. Prosecution sought 5 to 7 years. June 28, 2023, Daniels terminated from Ridgeview PD for cause. Reason: violation of department policies, conduct unbecoming, dishonesty in reporting. Impact: lost pension after 19 years service, benefits post-certification, can't work as cop in state. Union filed grievance, withdrawn after body cam publicly released. July 19, 2023, Mitchell filed federal civil rights lawsuit. Defendants: Officer Daniels' individual capacity, Ridgeview PD, City of Ridgeview. Claims: Fourth Amendment violation, unlawful seizure, 14th Amendment violation, racial discrimination, municipal liability, failure to train and supervise, pattern of tolerating racial profiling. Damages sought: compensatory plus punitive, typically $500K to $2 million in similar cases. Discovery process revealed Daniels' entire employment file. Found 7 complaints, 12 supervisor counselings, informal warnings not in official record. GPS data showed Daniels spent 40% patrol time in white neighborhoods outside his zone. Body cam analysis: forgot to activate in 34% stops involving black drivers versus 3% for white drivers. Text messages between Daniels and other officers included racial jokes, references to those neighborhoods. DOJ investigation expanded to full department. Found Ridgeview complaint process structurally deficient. 87% racial profiling complaints dismissed without interviewing complainant. Training on implicit bias, 2 hours total in 5 years. State requires 8 hours annually. No accountability for officers with repeat complaints. November 2023, Daniels pled guilty avoiding trial. Sentence, 5 years federal prison, eligible release after 4.25 years good behavior, 3 years supervised release, $50,000 fine. Permanently barred from law enforcement nationwide. February 2024, civil case settled before trial. Total payout $850,000. $450K compensatory damages emotional distress, violation of rights. $250K punitive from Daniels personally, likely uncollectible. $150K attorney fees. City paid $700K Daniels personal liability, discharged in bankruptcy. March 2024, Ridgeview entered DOJ-monitored consent decree. Body cams auto-activate on traffic stops. All complaints investigated by independent third party. Quarterly audits of stop data by race. Mandatory implicit bias training, 24 hours annually. Officers with 3+ sustained complaints ineligible for promotion. 5-year monitoring. DOJ investigation revealed 3 other officers with similar patterns. 2 quietly resigned, 1 terminated. 11 previously dismissed complaints reopened. 4 resulted in settlements, $40K to $180K each. Daniels' allocution at sentencing, I realize now my actions were wrong. I let my biases affect my judgment. Federal judge responded, you didn't let your biases affect judgment. You weaponized your badge against people because of skin color. That's not mistake. That's betrayal. Later attempted sentence reduction denied. Mitchell's statement after settlement, this was never about money, about accountability. How many people did he do this to who didn't have badge, witnesses, video? This has to stop. She donated $100K of settlement to legal aid fund for police misconduct victims. Became advocate for body cam reform, speaks at DOJ forums. August 3, Daniels indicted on federal charges. Title 18 U.S.C. 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. Unlawful detention based on race, no reasonable suspicion, violating 4th Amendment. Potential 10 years federal prison. Prosecution sought 5 to 7. June 28, Daniels terminated from Ridgeview for cause. Lost pension, 19 years service gone, benefits, post-certification. Can't work as cop in state. Union filed grievance, withdrawn after body cam released. July 19, Mitchell filed federal civil rights lawsuit. Defendants, Daniels, Ridgeview PD City. Claims, 4th Amendment violation, 14th Amendment racial discrimination, municipal liability, pattern of tolerating profiling. Damages sought, $500K to $2 million typical range. Discovery revealed employment file. 7 complaints, 12 informal warnings not in official rec. Ord, GPS showed 40% patrol time in white neighborhoods outside zone. Body cam forgot activation 34% stops with black drivers, 3% white drivers. Text messages with officers included racial jokes, those neighborhoods references. DOJ found Ridgeview complaint process deficient. 87% racial profiling complaints dismissed without interviewing complainant. Implicit bias training 2 hours in 5 years. State requires 8 hours annually. No accountability for repeat complaints. November 2023, Daniels pled guilty. Sentence, 5 years federal prison, eligible release 4.25 years good behavior, 3 years supervised release, $50,000 fine, permanently barred from law enforcement nationwide. February 2024, civil case settled, $850,000 total. $450K compensatory, $250K punitive from Daniels, $150K attorney fees. City paid $700K March 2024, Ridgeview entered DOJ consent decree. Body cams auto-activate on stops. Independent third party investigates complaints. Quarterly race data audits. 24 hours annual implicit bias training. 3+ sustained complaints, no promotion, 5-year monitoring. Investigation revealed 3 other officers' similar patterns. 2 resigned, 1 terminated. 11 complaints reopened, 4 settlements, $40K to $180K sentencing. Daniels said, my actions were wrong. I let biases affect judgment. Judge responded, you weaponized your badge because of skin color, not mistake, betrayal. Reduction attempt denied. Mitchell's statement, never about money, about accountability. How many without badge, witnesses, video, this stops. Donated $100K settlement to legal aid for misconduct victims. Advocate for body cam reform speaks at DOJ forums. August 3, 2023, U.S. Attorney indicted Daniels on federal charges. Title 18 United States Code Section 242, Deprivation of Rights under Color of Law felony charge. The specifics were unlawful detention based on race, without reasonable suspicion, violating the Fourth Amendment. Potential sentence up to 10 years in federal prison. Prosecution sought 5 to 7 years. June 28, 2023, Daniels was terminated from Ridgeview Police for cause. Reason: violation of department policies, conduct unbecoming an officer, dishonesty in reporting. Impact: he lost his pension after 19 years of service, lost benefits, lost post-certification. He can't work as a police officer anywhere in the state. The union filed a grievance. It was withdrawn after body cam footage was publicly released. July 19, 2023, Mitchell filed a federal civil rights lawsuit. The defendants were Officer Daniels in individual capacity, Ridgeview PD as a municipality, and the City of Ridgeview. Her claims included Fourth Amendment violation for unlawful seizure, 14th Amendment violation for racial discrimination, municipal liability for failure to train and supervise, and a pattern of tolerating racial profiling. Damages sought were compensatory plus punitive. Typically $500,000 to $2 million in similar cases. The discovery process revealed Daniels' entire employment file. They found 7 formal complaints and 12 supervisor counselings. Those were informal warnings, not in the official record. GPS data showed Daniels spent 40% of his patrol time in majority white neighborhoods outside his assigned zone. Body camera analysis showed he forgot to activate his camera in 34% of traffic stops involving black drivers. For white drivers, it was only 3%. Text messages between Daniels and other officers included racial jokes and references to those neighborhoods. The DOJ investigation expanded to the full department. They found the Ridgeview complaint process was structurally deficient. 87% of racial profiling complaints were dismissed without ever interviewing the person who complained. Training on implicit bias was only 2 hours total in 5 years. State law requires 8 hours annually. There was no accountability system for officers with repeat complaints. In November 2023, Daniels pled guilty to avoid going to trial. His sentence was 5 years in federal prison. He's eligible for release after 4.25 years with good behavior. 3 years of supervised release after prison. A $50,000 fine, permanently barred from working in law enforcement nationwide. In February 2024, the civil case was settled before trial. Total payout was $850,000. That breaks down to $450K in compensatory damages for emotional distress and violation of rights. $250K in punitive damages from Daniels personally, though that's likely uncollectible. $150K in attorney fees. The city paid $700K of the total. Daniels' personal liability was discharged in bankruptcy. In March 2024, Ridgeview PD entered a DOJ-monitored consent decree. Body cameras must now auto-activate on all traffic stops. All complaints must be investigated by an independent third party. Quarterly audits of traffic stop data sorted by race. Mandatory implicit bias training. 24 hours every year. Officers with 3 or more sustained complaints are ineligible for promotion. 5-year monitoring period. The DOJ investigation also revealed 3 other officers with similar patterns. 2 quietly resigned. 1 was terminated. 11 previously dismissed complaints were reopened. 4 resulted in settlements ranging from $40,000 to $180,000 each. At his sentencing hearing, Daniels said, "I realize now that my actions were wrong. I let my biases affect my judgment." The federal judge responded with this: "You didn't let your biases affect your judgment. You weaponized your badge against people because of the color of their skin. That's not a mistake. That's a betrayal." Daniels later attempted to get his sentence reduced. It was denied. Mitchell gave a statement after the settlement was reached. "This was never about money. This was about accountability." How many people did he do this to who didn't have a badge, didn't have witnesses, didn't have video? This has to stop. She donated $100,000 from her settlement to a legal aid fund for police misconduct victims. She became an advocate for body camera reform. She speaks at Department of Justice forums on police accountability.